So today I'm going to tell you some tips for glazing. Remember, glaze is the special paint for our clay. You are going to have it in these little bins. They each have a number with the number down here. So make sure you're putting the lid on the correct container when you're finished. Glaze changes color in the kiln. So this right now is like red, and at the end it's going to be this dark brown. This color is gray, but I promise it will be brown like this at the end. Some colors look a little bit more similar to the way they look like when they're finished, but please make sure that you are checking what the test tile looks like and not the glaze, the paint in here. So some really important things that you need to know is you need to have at least 3 coats of glaze. So here's what your pottery will look like if you have 1 coat. This is not what we're looking for. You will lose points. Here is 2 coats. It's still splotchy. You can still see colors in there. And this is 3, right? You want to make sure you can see how these are all different. You want to make sure that you are getting nice, even coverage for your artwork. So I'm going to begin by using this tan color. That looks gray, but I promise it's tan. I'm going to use my big brush. You don't need any water, and you need to make sure your paint dries in between coats. So I'm just going to start painting this like this. You want to make sure that you're getting in all of the spaces as well. Another important thing is that you cannot glaze the bottom of your artwork because it will stick to my kiln and that will be really bad. So all of the bottom you have to leave alone. Do not paint the bottom. I want you to take your time, go slowly. As you can see, it dries really quickly. So this part is already dry. So it does dry quickly, but you have to wait for it to dry first before you go on and doing your other coats because nothing is going to show up. So you can get really close to the bottom, but you cannot paint the bottom. I want you to have like at least 1 pinky width away from the bottom of your piece. So if we're kind of moving this along, you can paint like that close to the bottom. Okay, so there's my first coat on that area. You want to do the whole thing and then do your second coat, but right now I'm going to start painting right here. Really go slowly. Now I have my second coat. You want to keep track of how many coats you have because it's going to look like it's done and then it's going to be fired and you're going to see all this paint, all that white underneath, which is not what we want. So after I've done my third coat, I'm going to let that dry a little bit. I'm going to show you another color over here. This is this reddish, purplish color. And I'm just going to start painting with it. And when you are painting, you can kind of see the white underneath. You don't want to have that. So when we are painting, you want to remember 3 coats. Go slowly. So right now, if I were to paint this over and over again, it would still be 1 coat. You have to let it dry in between. Remember, don't paint the bottom. Make sure that when we are cleaning up, we are washing our brushes really well, putting them where they belong, putting all of the glaze tools away. So right now, this is 1 coat, and I'm going to let that dry. If I was painting with another color, let's say this nice light green color, and maybe I want to have like mint ice cream and I want to add some chocolate sprinkles on top. You would have to do 3 coats of this and then 3 coats of this, okay? Maybe 2 because this color's darker, but still 3 coats of the bottom color. So you need to have light colors first if you are layering, light colors and then dark colors. So for my pretzel over here, it's now dry. And I'm going to keep doing my gray-brown color. I promise it will be brown. And then I'm going to let that dry and add a little bit of this like brown color in there. because I kind of want to have some like details. So I'm just gonna kind of mix this brown in because I want it to kind of look like a pretzel. I want our artwork to look realistic, right? I'm grading you on how realistic you are painting your sculpture. So pick colors that are true to whatever you're making. I'm gonna pick 3 artists to have their ceramic food sculpture in an art show. So please work hard, work slowly, and let's get to work.